Welcome everybody. You can't see our faces, but we're going to go ahead and get started. You'll see our faces at the end of this broadcast, but I didn't have the sound on, so it would have been another one where we just watch it and don't get to see the anything. I know.
That sounds about right.
I'm a mess.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to blow through this one that took so long to actually save all those stupid pictures and get on to the fun time.
All that work in, and
I know. Next week I'll be more prepared. Okay, so Uncle Todd versus Camp Krusty. Again, another tough one. Kev, walk us through this one.
this was a very interesting week of fantasy football. I had a great time. I was not supposed to win this game going into Monday night, but somehow I pulled it out. No thanks to Josh Allen, who only gives me 16. Taylor also 16. Alvin Kamara 16. Got a bunch of 16s. Good to see Puka Nakua back in the lineup.
Yeah.
Eckler gave me 23 just about. And Juwan finally back onto the field for a measly 131. But luckily, I pulled it out against Todd. Tua, not a great day in his comeback so
that was
far.
Monday night. That was Monday night. It was Puka versus Tua.
Right. You got a nice day out of Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
And the Hakatua on my Chubb, Hawkinson, 15.2, not bad. And the Chiefs come through for 14. However, all those single digits only allowed him to score about 119 and a half. Checking out our benches, doesn't look like
Not
a
much.
ton was left on there. Maybe Kyler, but I'm not going to start him over Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, you definitely pulled this one out, and you got lucky because Todd was on a slow week with his 119.
I was lucky.
Jason, you
this
got
one
any
came down to
comments?
Monday night,
Yeah.
as you said, he kept, he had Tua and Tyreek. It looked good for him. He should have pulled it out Monday night, but
Yeah.
it just couldn't get any traction. It's funny that the Tyreek trade, he was gambling on Tua coming back, and that gamble paid off, but
yeah, the numbers aren't there yet. Let me ask you this, Jason. If you're looking into your crystal ball, how do you think the year's going to finish? Because for Tua and Tyreek, and I don't know if I want to go fantasy year or if I want to go full year, but I'm curious at what you think. Are they going to find that fire again before the end of the year and do better, or is it just too little, too late, and it'll be next year when they get everything rolling again?
You know what? I wonder because last season I had Tua. He was my quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He started off pretty nicely. I actually had him in the Waddle stack.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of the year, that offense was no good. I had to switch him out. And they pretty much continued that this year. It almost feels like the league has figured it out with all their movement and decoy and Tyreek because this is the same offense as the second half of last year.
Yeah.
Question, guys. Are
It
either
feels
of
like
those
maybe it's got figured out.
Yeah. What was that, Kev?
I was going to say, question, are either of those guys on a contract year?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my
He
head.
just got paid a year or two ago. And
Okay.
Tyreek's on his last big contract, so, he's...
Yeah, because he's getting older, right? Yeah, so it's not like, he's going to be seeing
I'm
anything
just curious.
soon. Yeah.
If it is, you think maybe they try to, once the pressure's off and they aren't going to probably be in this thing long term, maybe they loosen up and stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah, we shall see.
My personal fantasy football philosophy is I don't take wide receivers who got paid.
Yeah.
Because,
I know Justin Jefferson got paid, he might be upset, but I want him hungry.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was
Worst
thinking.
thing the Chargers ever did was pay Mike Williams. Balling with Moonball Wilson.
Hey, I'm happy he's with our team now. Let's get on to the next matchup. That would be Mr. Greg at a quarter so versus his brother.
Sibling rivalry.
Yes.
Joe pulls it out
Oh, boy.
with a monster score, 172.
We got a good start from Jamar. Jesus.
129, but look at that, Jamar. There's a little bit to talk about, but not when you look at that. That is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Have we confirmed, is that any kind of record, either for total score or position?
It sounds like it for position. Jason, you're the historian of our league. Do you think that might be the highest of wide? I mean, I know Tyreek Hill's had some good weeks, but I don't ever remember a 60 burger from a wide receiver.
Todd's actually more of the historian these days. My brain is fried.
Okay.
But we've gotten in the 60s a couple times. I believe Tyreek did it that one.
Yeah, that's what seems to. Yeah, that's the name that popped
touchdowns
into my head.
before.
Was I know he's had some good ones. We'll put Todd on that. Okay.
Y2K, what was his name? Johnson there. The
Calvin Johnson. Yeah, he had some big years.
Yeah,
big
so
days.
it's happened a few times.
Okay.
But it's never happened Thursday night. He broke 100.
Oh my
on
gosh.
Thursday night. That was a lot of fun. That was amazing.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild. Yeah, so looking over at Greg's team, wow, terrible day from Sam Darnold, 3.44. Wow, that's pretty bad. J.K. Dobbins also not very great. Amon-Ra, the sun god, continues to do well. Boy, he is I want that dude next week.
Yeah.
He's my 2025 Waddle.
Yeah.
The guy I want but probably won't get. George Pickens gives him 20.5. That's out of Pittsburgh. You had to love that, Matty.
Oh, yeah. Happy with that.
Sutton good for 20. That's about it. He finishes with 128. He's got Bucky Irving on the bench for about 17. I don't know why, but it seems like he had a good week last week or recently. Not 100% sure.
Yeah, he did, but he's kind of been up and down, so I can see why. I mean, I'm looking at his lineup, and I can see why he started those folks. I don't think it's out of the realm not to start, not to put Bucky in there, but he would have been a wild card. So you're right.
Yeah,
Yep. He's had a good team this year, but his lineup didn't matter. He's the first guy ever on Fast Football went to bed on Thursday night because his weekend already lost.
Well, I was going to say,
there's nothing he could do about that.
Without that Jamar Chase score, this game is different.
It was a lot of fun to watch that for Joe.
Yeah.
And it just made it even better that it was brother on brother.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some trash talking at least around the house for sure. Oh, God, let's move on to this disaster.
Loving this. Okay, Little Rick, after a nice little run there, has fallen off a little bit there, Matthew.
Yeah.
You muster 106 against Kevin's. If you're going to score 106, may as well be when the other guy goes off and not beats you with like 113.
Yeah.
He did. He ends up getting 162 thanks to a monster from Joe Burrow, tied to that Thursday game, I'm assuming. Bijan Robinson good for 31. And man, that starting running backs for him this week, unbelievable. They combined for just about 60.
Yeah.
So you've got 60 and 50, got 110 from your first three players.
That beats me. He could have sat the rest of his squad for crying out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. On your side, not a great day for Mayfield, although he's been steady. You can't really fault him too much.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, also another guy that's steady, Eddie. He fell a little bit short, but not too bad. Same Montgomery, but a bunch of low scores from the typically strong K. Dotton. Jesus, that's all. If Mayfield throws to anybody, it's K. Dotton. But that didn't happen. Vikings, though, 23 points.
Yeah, my defense rocks, but that's about it. It was another rough week for Matty.
Now, looking at your bench, you got your homer pick scoring 23. Do you start him this week?
Maybe. We'll see. Actually I am because the Baker's on a bye. So, I'm in a real straits this week. I need to win big. And, of course, I play Nick this week, so that's going to be awesome. I'm sure that's going to work.
Kevin might have a perfect lineup. He might get that award this week. He got nothing on his bench, so...
Yeah.
I hate that we give award to people with terrible benches. That sounds like something Joe would come up with.
Exactly.
On this game, Clemens, they stomped him. If Derrick Henry's not carrying Matt's team, it's not going anywhere, apparently.
Yeah, I need that big man to help me, and he did not this week. They won the game, but it wasn't the Derrick Henry run game. It was the passing game between those two idiots that have no defense.
Is he Jalen Warren, now you got that. He's back, so now the Steelers' backfield's a headache again.
Yeah.
For Clemens, that Chuba Hubbard looked great. I'm ashamed to admit I watched a lot of that game in Germany Sunday morning with the terrible Giants and terrible Panthers. Chuba Hubbard looked impressive.
Yeah, he's
my moment, Matt. I'm going to go turn this game on.
Yeah. I was going to say that the Chuba Hubbard pick, Clemens admitted when he was at your house, that's got to be a sleeper pick of the year. He did not expect that much from him, and he's loving it every time he's putting up numbers like that. So good for him to grab that depth like midway through the round. So good job on that one, Clemens.
Well, I got to tell you,
and Hubbard got paid last week, so don't draft him next year.
Don't want him next year.
I was going to say, I did, thanks to that DirecTV that I still got. I see a bunch of games again. And I'm happy for those German fans. They saw an awesome game. I think it went to overtime. 2 big scores and then went to overtime. That's pretty awesome. All right.
Moving on to the next one.
The crowd, they had the big, tall, dark beers. Real serious beer drink.
Delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those guys are F's.
Oh, this was a close game.
I was watching this one with great interest, as Palpatine said in episode 1, because you were like me. You were not slated to win, I don't believe, going into the very last game.
Right, yeah.
Now pulled it off. Nicely done, sir. Jaden Daniels didn't do you any favors with 8.5. McCaffrey, though, he's looking a little bit stronger. I know maybe they're starting slow, and it was super hot, I think. Where were they at?
Tampa Bay, right.
Yep. Like 89 degrees or something. So they were taking it easy on him. Kareem Hunt, looks to be the guy in Kansas City, especially with Rashee Rice out.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp 15, Josh, and then a couple of bad scores. Ferguson and Devonta Smith and DJ Moore all in single digits, but not bad from the Eagles.
Oh, wow. The Eagles start them against your own team, Jay. Have you no shame, Senator?
No.
Hey, I have no shame. That's a good streaming. If you don't have a D, go ahead and stream against Cooper Rush. Just follow him around. Whatever D is playing those guys.
Exactly.
Now you did get just over 118, which on a normal day might be tough, but Wingley really gotten subpar performances from her players. Okay,
Yeah.
We got Stroud, Saquon Barkley, Tank Dell, Lad McConkey. All of these guys have been historically in double digits this season.
Yep.
Not so much. Kyron shows up for 11, but way under what he was supposed to. She did a better job in her flex spot, but just wasn't enough. 116. Looking at her bench, she had Alec Pierce on there for 18.1, but
and she started him before. I mean, I know it's a guessing game, and it just sucks when there's something sitting on your bench that literally you could have flipped out and won the game. But you just never know, right?
Yeah. All the other projections were ahead of that in the flex spot, with the exception of Purcell, who already scored 18. So it didn't really matter.
So yeah, I stole this one. This was one of those you take it and you don't ask questions.
Yep. You deserve it.
And by all right, she should have beat me. Sunday afternoon, I thought I was done.
Right.
Brown threw a touchdown in the first half Sunday night. I'm like, uh-oh. But then he had some turnovers in the second half.
Yeah.
One was in the end zone that really hurt. And then Monday night, it just came down to Kyron Williams versus
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. And if you watched it, you saw a couple opportunities Kyron Williams had in the passing game that didn't connect.
Mm-hmm.
Once for a touchdown, Stafford didn't see him, and then once on a tip pass when he was wide open.
Yeah.
So when you win by 2, there could be a lot of different things. Here's a little hidden gem. In overtime of that Giants-Panthers game, Tyrone Trace fumbled on the first snap for the Giants, and so that -2 right there. And
wow.
Ouch. So if you watch the games, it could be more painful because you see
you see him going away, right?
So this was a tough one for Sam, but you play fantasy football, it's going to happen. And
well,
I stole that one, no doubt about it.
Hey, if anybody was going to or due for it, it's you. You fell victim to some really tough matchups this year already, so it's good to see you get one back.
Yeah, but it evens out. She didn't score much, and I beat you didn't score 100, so it's been tough. But I don't even sweat it with fantasy football. It all evens out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. Amen to that. Okay, let's move on to your wifey versus your sister. So a little family feud.
It was a little family feud. Dawn did pretty okay. She started slow, but poor Terry had a rough go of it. She mustered 105.88. Dawn came through with 133. Looking at Terry's team, nothing from Brian Robinson Jr. Did he get hurt or was he out? Do you know?
I think he was out again.
I think he might have been out. Yeah, I was going to say I watched as much of that game as I could because it wasn't on live. I mean, I had to watch it on the red zone, so every time it was on, I was paying attention. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was out. If he was, boy, that's a real miss there, not putting somebody else in or at least grabbing somebody for that one. Not that it might not have made a difference, but, try to do something. But yeah, no, keep an eye on your folks, that's for sure.
Yeah, and at this point, Tara, if you're watching, I think it's time to put Purdy back in the lineup. Maybe sit Cousins on the bench, but I'm no expert. Don't listen to me. Drake London gets almost exactly what he's supposed to. Same is true for A.J. Brown. And 21 from the Bills, but man, not enough when you've got 0, 1.2, 1.6.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's tough to come back from. On Don's team, great day from Jalen Hurts. I know they were expecting good things, projected to get 25. He got 32.5. James Conner, who isn't really one of my favorite running backs, honestly. He came through, though, 22.3. And she loves Gibbs. He's kind of steady at 12.8. Mm-hmm. Garrett Wilson, I think, was hung over from the previous making that dynamite catch. He only gets 9.1.
I like it.
15, finally. Laporta gives her something.
Yeah.
The guts to start him, and it came through. Not a huge score, but enough to get it done. 132. Or is that 133?
133.22. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Looking at the benches, not a ton with the exception of Purdy.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, tough week for Terry. There are a few lineup changes she could have made, but I don't know if it'd have been enough.
He didn't have enough
At
on
the
the
time, that
hand.
Jalen Hurts, man, with the running touchdowns,
Yeah.
he is just money. And I personally, I love James Conner. The whole team
Me too.
is taking on his personality on the field. That's a hard-nosed football team. I watched a lot of that Jets game, and I love watching Conner play. So
You think
you think
Arizona has a chance of possibly making the playoffs, Jay, and making some noise, or no?
I don't know. I've been down on him. I've been down on Kyler Murray after
Yeah.
that. He looks a little better. After a couple of weeks, I cut him because but they've looked better, and they play hard for their coach, and I think they're a threat in the West for sure.
All right. Cool. Yeah, no, it was a good game, and congrats to Malibu Stacy. I love the boldness of her starting 2 tight ends. That takes some stones, so
Right.
good job there. Let's move on to Nick's picks versus Dallas Hurts.
Okay, Nick's picks. Nick pulls it out again against Dallas Hurts.
God, with such a low score, too. I want him to do that this week.
I know. He could have had a shot, but oh well. Let's go ahead and see how this happens. So, again, I think we maybe talked about this. Lamar Jackson's having a year.
Yeah.
Continues again, 42.
Jeez.
Brees Hall, not too bad. 12.3, 15 from Cook. Some single digits. The rest of the way down. God, look at the Bengals. That's terrible.
Yeah.
-4. What was the score? And the score was 34-35. I don't know where the negative all came from.
Maybe it was
Something
the
like
yards, Jay. What do you think? The yards, or maybe some turnovers or fumbles or something?
Great.
Yeah, there's a lot of points there. He violated one of my rules. I'm not starting a defense against my own quarterback. Lamar lit them up.
Oh, yeah.
35 points. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
that was the reason for that. The Bengals D is actually better than that. But like you say, Lamar Jackson's killing it. He
Yeah.
almost had. There wasn't a lot going on for Nick's team this week. Lamar Jackson almost had 40% of the points himself.
That's insane.
Other than him, it was nothing notable.
Yeah.
All zeros except for the Cowboys D. And probably going into that game, that was a coin toss. So
Having said that,
not
he
much.
was primed to get beat, and Kat, she missed the opportunity. She didn't capitalize on it.
I know. So she
And let's go ahead and-
average day out of Patrick Mahomes. They are a strong team, obviously, but if you look at his projections and points, I mean, it's kind of
Yeah, he's not
mediocre.
right.
Yeah.
He's not lighting it up like he has years past. And if you watch that game, it was a friggin' heartbreaker for poor Denver. They were doing great. They should have won the game if not for the bad blocking on that last-minute field goal that got blocked, and it ended it for him. I could not believe Denver got done like that. It was insane.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
Tyler-
the funny thing about Mahomes is this is actually the second year that he has not been an every week
Yes.
starter for fantasy. Finally, the fantasy world's starting to pay
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
she,
definitely been a name that you're living in the past.
Yeah, that you think. I know I did that for 1 year when I got screwed and he did not perform. But yeah, so I think they're coming around. But sorry, Kev, continue.
it's okay. Tight ends showed up again for her. This was the weekend for tight ends, I guess. Boy, they're hit and miss. CeeDee Lamb, a really low score compared to where he normally is. Yeah, just she didn't get a lot of help from any of these players. Addison, 4.9. Flowers, 7.2. Brian Thomas Jr., 3.2. Even her kicker manages 1.7. How? God only knows.
Well, he missed one too, I think. So there were some minus points for the kicker. I think he missed
okay.
more than
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
perhaps. And I'm surprised that Zay Flowers' score is so low with the day Lamar had. Who the hell was he throwing to? It sure as hell wasn't Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I know Andrew's got a
Bateman's
touchdown, and Rashad Bateman's. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
tough. All she needed was a little help, and she could have beat Nick.
Yeah.
And then he missed 1 or 2 kicks. It was very
I think it was 2. Yeah, I think it was 2.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is
Okay.
really uncharacteristic for Young Ho, as we all know,
Poor
because
cat.
he's pretty
Poor
solid.
cat.
Yeah.
I think Nick's going to get the lucky award of the week and the
Yeah.
unlucky
In the
for-
wrap. Yeah. Probably. All right, let's move on. Oh, get to the standings. Oh! It's heartbreaking.
Okay, let's go through this. I love it. Let's start off
Shut up.
Brockway. Very competitive all of a sudden. You got Kev, who was alone out in front. He still is 6-4, but a battle for second place and only 2 games out of first. You got Jay and Joe. Jay, you got to make that happen. Joe's on your heels. It's your nemesis, right? On Dunville, Camp Krusty ends up winning at the same week that both of the Little Pricks and the Wing Leaders 13 lose,
Boo.
which propels me from worst to first. I'm up to 6-4, tied with Maddie and Sam, just 1 game back, still anybody's division. North Haverbrook, good Lord Almighty, Nick, 9-1. Is he guaranteed?
There's 4 games left, so yeah, I think so, right?
Terry can't win the division.
Okay. And then you got quarter so low. Terry can pull it out. Couple of tough weeks for Greg.
She's got 4 games to get into it. Yeah, all she has to beat is Greg.
I know. So hang in there, Terry. You're not out. Malibu Stacy's really needed a win after coming off of a few poor weeks. She finds herself alone in front, 1 game ahead of Uncle Todd, who's at 4-6, and he's 1 game ahead of Kat, who is 3-7. So despite Kat's terrible luck this whole season, she finds herself only 1 game out of playoffs and 2 games out of first. So
all I know is that if something holds with that division, and let's assume Dawn makes it in, it is going to be some a very awkward Christmas between Kat and Todd to see who gets in and who doesn't, because they're going to be mad at each other.
Yeah, right, exactly. Todd's got a lot to say about the playoffs with the losing record, but he'll take it.
Yeah.
Poor Sam, your division tightened up there with you guys, and all lost. So she just needed Todd to help her out. He couldn't even do that. So.
I'm sure that was a fun conversation. Let's get to the thing, the breakdown here. Why don't you take this, Jason?
All right. High score was Joe, which no surprise after his 100-plus points on Thursday. So good job, Joe. That was a lot of fun. It really spiced up Thursday night. I hope tonight is half as fun.
Yeah.
Bottom of the pile was Kat with her 95 points. Nick was primed for the taking, and she couldn't do it, so that's rough. Oh,
I gotta be here again.
You're on here all the time.
The Kevins thought Matt pretty good. The rumor on the street is that Matt can't beat the Kevins, so he has to do everything.
Oh, I hate that. God, that hurts.
And then a bad beat was the one I put on Sam. Like I said, I stole it. I apologize for that. That's
1.58. Wow.
But yeah, I definitely thought I was toast. Didn't even look at the scores after Sunday night. I didn't know until Monday morning I was still alive. Nick finished 3-8 in all play, but luckily he was playing poor Cat this week.
Yep.
3-8.
Greg, not so lucky. He would have done well. He would have outscored. He outscored 7 teams, but he took the beat down from Joe on Thursday night.
Right. Yeah.
And it looks like Todd, who I know he had a lot of bye week issues, so he got the bench of the week there. He didn't have any talent on his bench. And the Eagles playing the Dallas Cowboys, the defense of the week. And that's one of the problems. Look at CeeDee Lamb, 8 or 9 points. You know, Dallas just has one of the terrible offenses. Some star wide receivers can handle losing their quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening for the Cowboys offense.
That's going to be rough.
Thin at wide receiver, thin at running back.
Yeah, that's going to be rough for poor Cat, especially having CD, who was normally her guarantee of at least 20 plus a week, right?
Now is Dak out by injury or
he's out for the season, right, Jay?
He's out. Yeah, they said his hammy pulled away from the bone a little bit, so he'll be out for the year.
Yeah, surgery.
Which is Jerry an excuse.
Yeah.
And this week I look to be back on the defense next week because I picked up the Lions at home against the Jags.
Nice.
They look terrible.
Nice.
Minnesota, was that you mad? Their defense went off last week.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the same thing.
Yeah, I think so. All right, let's move on to the bidding this week. There was a little bit of a bidding war.
Finally, some money.
Some money being thrown around. A whole $16 for Audric Estime after that nice performance in Denver. Looks like that goes to Mr. Clemens, right, with Uptown Borough Burritos, I should say. Jay, you were close with $10, and I love Todd out there for 0, just in case.
Yeah, somehow the 0 bid did not win.
Then we got Jerry Judy. Hey, that's a guy I used to have, Kev, years back from Nick's picks, and there was a little bit of a bid again there. Jason in there for $2, but Nick got him for 5, and then Rashad Bateman, Mr. Wide receiver star for Baltimore in that shootout. Nick grabs him for 10. Nobody got him, so it was a waste of $10. And then a few other grabs for some low dollars there for $1 or 0 in those cases. Kevin, any smart aleck comments?
Kevin, but I wasted $1 on Harrison Butker. Got picked up for $1. Now I hear he's out for 4 weeks.
So, oh no!
But
Hey,
There
Matt,
wasn't
you
too many
got your
bidding wars.
guy?
Yes, I did. I was very happy
Wow.
because, again, I only realized at the end of it, I should have been looking at this weeks apart, but I realized, oh crap, I only have one tight end, it's K. Dot, and he's on a bye. I need somebody else. So I put out for him, and I thought I might get some resistance. That's why I put the whole dollar in there because he did score a touchdown last week. I thought somebody else might be in the same situation, but thankfully nobody was. So yeah, I spent $1, but who knows? Maybe I can. I'm just hoping for a couple of receptions or maybe a touchdown if I'm really lucky before I'm on my bye week.
Matt strategically outbid all the other no bids for $0.
Hey, you
Exactly.
could do worse for a bye week Philly, and he might get the random touchdown.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm hoping, exactly. So let's look at the scoreboard going on here. We got about 10 minutos left, it looks like, from the Zoom or from the timer here on Zoom. Let's talk about what would you look for.
Okay, Matt, can you get it done this
Oh,
week?
God, I hope so. This is such an uphill battle going against Nick, Mr. I score 1,000 points every week. Now, again, last week he was really down, so I'm hoping I can get some of that luck and maybe catch him on a down week. But he looks like, again, he's posed to go off. This will be interesting because Pitt normally gives at least a decent defense effort against Lamar, so maybe he doesn't score 42 this week. We'll see. So I'm going to be invested in that not only fantasy-wise, but much more from the team that I love-wise, so that's going to be tough. And so we have dueling quarterbacks. That'll make it interesting. Same thing with my Derrick Henry. I'm got him going against my own damn defense, so that's not going to be fun to watch or root for. Any other thoughts of the lineups here, Jason or Kevin?
You know what? I actually like Russell because you could throw on Baltimore. I think
Yeah, they have the worst pass defense.
So the projection shows it's pretty close. Actually, looking at the scoreboard this week, projections you can take with a grain of salt, but it's showing a lot of close games. So it'd be nice if we had something to come down to it like that.
Yeah.
I think might give the guy to get it done this against Nick here.
Oh, man, that would be so sweet if I was the only other person to beat Nick. Let's see what the other matchups are.
Looks a little prick this weekend. I'm going with Matt.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I think it comes down to what Lamar Jackson shows up.
Sure.
But yeah, if you look, there's a lot of close projections other than I think it was Greg and Terry. One note on that game, I got Todd. That's
Yeah, let's look at you versus the boy.
Yeah, actually, if you note, what's funny is we both have.
Of course, it's got the same damn thing. Hold on, we're going to open it again. Damn you, ESPN.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Curse you, ESPN.
If you notice, this is the highest projected game on the scoreboard this week.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's showing it to be close.
All right, let's go find you.
But yeah,
There we go, box.
Has somebody invented a keyboard for fat fingers yet?
It's just slow. It's as fast as it goes, dude. I got a slow dial-up connection here. I'm connected via AOL.
I thought I heard a modem.
Exactly. Don't you? There we go. Okay, here we go.
So one note about this game.
Mm-hmm.
This is my least favorite game of the year. I don't get any joy beating Todd. He's into it. He puts a lot of work in this fantasy team.
Sure.
And I also take no joy from losing.
Mm-hmm.
But Todd stopped by the other night and he's talking trash. He's got a tough season, so he's glad he's got an easy one, basically a bye this week.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm fully invested in kicking his ass. So I guess he did me a favor because now I'm into it this week. I got my quarterback tonight, Jaden Daniels. I still don't trust rookie quarterbacks, so I'm nervous there. But he's got a rookie quarterback too.
But I like him to bounce back this week, Jay, against staff after the not so great week he had last week. I think he bounces back against Philly. Again, it's the big game of the week, right? Everybody's watching it. I'm sure he's going to want to show out. Maybe he gets his legs used a little more and gets you a few points running versus everything else. So hopefully he does have a good night for you.
And
Yeah,
before
and
you
I don't
go-
believe in jinxing. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, I was gonna say before you go off of this one, memory's the first thing to go. But if I remembered correctly, I think both you guys desperately need a win to separate yourselves for second place, right? So this is
it would be nice.
one.
Yeah, he's got a game lead on Caitlin, so he'd like to get some more room.
Yep.
And I'm not too worried about separating against Joe because it's Joe. I'm like, it was the great wide receiver. He said, if I'm even, I'm leaving. Basically saying,
Yeah.
if he for 5 yards, if he's even with the cornerback, it's
I'm
over.
gone. Right, it's over. I'm going.
So, but I don't believe in jinxing or karma or anything like that. But Todd brought this ass whooping on himself. So, I'm fully invested now. I'll show him a bye week.
I love it. Exactly. You're going to show him who's who. I love it. All right, let me see if there's one more
Good luck,
game.
Todd.
I know. Don's got a tough game against a strong.
Yeah, against Clemens. Let's link that our last one we reviewed. Kevin, why don't you take this one since it's your betrothed?
Well, let's see. Scroll up just so I can see the total score.
Oh, it's the same one. Damn it. Hold on.
So just scroll. All you had to do was scroll back up.
No, it wouldn't have worked. Hang tight.
No, work this then.
I got an idea for next week. We're going to test something new. I got a new idea for next week.
A computer instead of a Chromebook?
Shut up.
Maybe get some.
They got the
Wi-Fi
computers on the internet now.
Hello, this is Chuck to remind Bill to shut up. Next. Okay, go.
Can you scroll up just a little bit? I can't.
Oh,
see
sure.
the scores.
Yeah, this is another close projection I was talking about.
Yeah, I was just going to say. So Don's been scoring well. Kevin's been scoring really well. And then, Joe Burrows, and he's coming off of a slightly longer week, right? He played last Thursday. They've got a couple of extra days off. That'll be interesting to see what that means.
Yep.
Lots of check marks kind of on both sides. This one might be close.
Could be a close game. Yeah, and it looks like Kevin has slid in Audric Estime, his pickup off the wire, into a starting position. And he's got your favorite guy, Kevin, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Careful how you say that.
What'd you say, Chief? And again, Clemens with the strong tight end game. Evan Ingram and Cole Kmet.
Well, I know Dawn's going to be looking to kick out Worthy. She was pissed at him this last week. Same with somebody else. I don't know what she's.
And she's putting Hunter Henry in over Sam Laporta, maybe because he's questionable. Maybe she'll switch that out if he's.
I don't think Laporta's playing, but
okay, yeah. So maybe
try to find a way to get Worthy out of that.
He hates him now. Yeah,
she hates him.
That's all I heard about this week.
And he missed that long touchdown catch. Yeah, he almost had a catch.
Not only is he starting 2 tight ends, but no wonder he overpaid for. What's his name? Estime.
Audric Estime.
Because he needed him to start this week. So
yeah.
He's supposed to slowly win that job, allegedly. Sean Payton likes him, but I don't know if it's going to happen this week. So
I'm going to laugh my...
Honestly, I think, and not just because this is self-serving at all, but I think Don's going to win this one. That's my projection.
Yeah, I'm going to laugh my balls off if Javonte Williams has a day and Audric Estime does nothing, being that he has both running back for the same team.
Leave your balls out of this, please.
All right, that's a good wrap. That's a good spot to leave this here. Let's get back to just us.
Hopefully they're safely in Kathy's purse where they belong.
Where they belong, exactly. All right, fellas, we got about 3 minutes left to shoot the proverbial shit. Any thoughts about matchups? Or now, like I said, 4 weeks. It's a race to the end. No one's out of it. Terry, you're still in this. All you got to beat is the guy in front of you. It's only 2 games back, Terry. You can catch him.
Yeah, Terry's the only one in a little bit of danger because there's 4 weeks left. Yeah. So if she hypothetically loses and Greg wins, now she's 3 behind Greg with 3 to play.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, that could flip if she wins and Greg loses. Now it's just 1 game. So
yeah.
But time is getting short. For the rest of us, we're all just 1 game out of the playoffs at most.
Crazy how close it is in every other division.
Yeah, it's very competitive.
Yeah, it is. And a reminder, the tiebreaker for all playoff spots and division titles is total points scored. It's the easiest. It's the one guaranteed that you won't have to go to a second tiebreaker. And I think it's the best measure of your team is, over the season, your scoring total. So
are you scoring a bunch? Because we've all been beaten by somebody. We've all sometimes had a high score that would have beat all these other teams, but because we played that one team, so at least that helps you on the back end if there's some head-to-head matchup where you're going to see if you make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen the scoring that some leagues do. I'm not proposing it. It's been interesting. Is when you get a certain amount of points for the win because you're a head-to-head matchup. Call it 5 points, 10 or whatever. But then you get a point assigned to, like we're a 12-team league. If you're the high scorer, you get 12 points there. You're the low scorer, you get 1 point.
Ooh.
So even if you lose, but like say you're the second highest scorer,
you get some points. It's still counter. I like that. I'm liking that idea. Anything to make it more complicated.
But yeah, right. With this crew, we start doing math, and
it's going to be a nightmare.
Well, that only works if you don't have a bench.
That scoring's not going to help you at all.
No, I know. I've won most of my games from very low scores. That's for sure.
Well, across the board, fantasy scores have been lower this year.
Yeah. Not a lot of huge ones. Only a couple that have been even close to. Did anybody get over 200, or did we get close to 200?
Still looking for our first.
Yeah, we got like 190 something for somebody. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we usually get a handful of those. We're still waiting. That's unusual too. So.
All right. Cool, man.
It's been a little bit more of it seems like more guys are scoring touchdowns, more third string tight ends.
Yeah, it's definitely been a strange year for the actual NFL where you don't see quite as much scoring. There's been a lot more, like you said, odd running backs that get the score, tight ends that aren't even starting, and things like that just piss you off if you're a fantasy player.
Well, think of years past, guys, where you knew people like
1 minute.
Jeff was going to get 30 something. Chase always going to get something big.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Before other guy
guarantees.
Now, who's the number one wide receiver right now?
Got to be Chase, right?
It's got to be after that last game, yeah, if you look at the average. But again, like you said, Kevin, it's not every
week, who was it? Yeah.
Right, yeah. I know that's a good spot. Okay, well, folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for making this happen, and we'll do this again next week. Good luck to everybody tonight.
Real quick, Matt, we might have 2 minutes left. Do you want to get anybody warmed up about the Turkey
Bowl? Yes, I will talk up the Turkey Bowl. I'll be sending out something soon. Gabby's excited about the Turkey Bowl. She's bringing her boyfriend. I don't know if he's going to play or not. There's a lot of questions about his availability coming up on the game.
Now I want to play. I wish I could play.
Yeah, she was really hoping to see you, but I told her, hey, no, all bets are off with Jason. There, we'll find out when we can see you. We will, but no pressure on you. I'm hoping that we can rally Greg and his kids and their friends to fill up most of the ranks, and then the old people can just kind of stay around the line and not do a lot because Lord knows I don't want to get injured.
And big shock once again, Matt, home field advantage.
Exactly. Come to me.
He could walk in his flip flops and a beer.
Exactly.
He might run faster.
I should bring a beer.
Even with current Jay, I'm taking the over. That's how much confidence I have.
Exactly.
I said, get out there, show them what's up.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks.
It's not an athletic group, Kevin.
No, it's definitely not. No. There's been injuries, but not a lot of athleticism out there.
Yeah, Greg's kids, and then Nick. Anybody 30-ish and under.
Yeah, exactly. And that one time Clemens brought his kids, we did okay there too, so that worked out.
He ran circles around his too.
Well, the year that Joe started and then tore his ankle and fell forward.
His quad.
I think.
Oh no, we lost it. 2 minutes. Oh.